subscribe, like, and share this video. For today's video, it's all about retrieving and restricting data using select and where statements. So we will use comparison operators. So this comparison operators and arithmetic expressions for these statements. Okay, to begin with, let us have now the syntax to restrict the rows that are returned by using the where clause. So it starts with select statement. You can also include these arguments. So later I will show you how to use these arguments one by one. And then followed by from table. So you have to type your table's name here. Okay, next is you have the where clause, which comes with logical expressions. So this logical expression will determine what are the data to be retrieved. Okay, so let us now apply this using Oracle Apex. Okay, for demo purposes, let us now use the employee table. So I have here the records of employee table. We have 7 records here. Okay, so using select statement. So select asterisk from employee, meaning it displays all the records in employee table. Okay, so what if I want to display the specific columns or limit the columns into 3? For example, display only the first name, last name, and salary of this table. Okay, so let us now use the select statement. So the asterisk will be replaced with a specific column's name. So you have the first name or F name column, then the last name column and salary column. Okay, so select F name, last name, salary from employee. So highlight, then click now, run. So as you can see, it displays only 3 columns specified on your select statement. Okay, so using the select statement, you can also add arithmetic expressions to compute values on your table. So for example, if I want to compute the annual salary of each employee, so you have to multiply the salary by 12. Okay, so let us add here new column, that is salary times 12. So this is your arithmetic expressions. Okay, so we have now 4 columns. The new column is salary times 12. Okay, so let us now run. As you can see, I have new column here. So you have salary times 12. Okay, so the value of this column is the product of this arithmetic expression. Okay, salary times 12. So what if, for example, I want to change the column headings from salary times 12 to annual salary? Okay, so this is called the alias. So let us now use the alias. To add the alias or change the column heading, so simply right after your arithmetic expressions or column name, so you can include the as keyword and then type now your new column headings or the alias name. So let us now type annual salary. It means that this arithmetic expression, okay, to be renamed with annual salary as column heading. Okay, so this is so-called the alias name. So let us now run. Okay, so you have now the annual salary column headings. So take note that the alias name is by default, it is in the uppercase. As you can see, it automatically converts into uppercase or capital letter. So what if, for example, I want to display the alias name with, it starts with capital letter only. So you can now add double quotation to your alias name. So you have annual sample salary. By adding the double quotation on your alias name, it automatically displays the format that you have typed on your select statement. Okay, so let us check. Click now run. So I have now annual salary. Okay, so for alias name, you can also omit the keyword as. Okay, so for example, because as is optional. So for example, the F name, so let us have an alias name as first name. So first name. So you have your column name and then type your alias name. So you can omit the as keyword here. Okay. So for the last name, so we have type last name. Okay, let us now check. Click now run. Okay. So your F name now becomes first name and last L name becomes last name. Okay, so that is your using alias. Okay, so let us now display the data using where clause. A where clause is to limit or restrict the rows to be retrieved. Okay, so for example, so select all from employee. Okay, so let us now include the where clause. So take note that after the where clause, we have the logical expressions. So the logical expressions are the conditions, okay, to limit the data to be retrieved. Okay, so for example, okay, so let us first check the data for employee. Okay, so for example, I want to display only all employees with department ID equals to 30. Okay, so select all from employee where, so our logical expression is, or condition is, dep ID equals to 30. Okay, so dep ID is in a numeric type. That's why you have to type numbers only here. Okay, so select now, then click run. Okay, so as you can see, it only displays employees with dep ID equals to 30. Okay, so for where clause or logical expressions, we can use conditional statement as follows. Okay, so these are the comparison operators that we can use. So we have to compare data. We have the greater than and less than. Then we also have not equal. Can also use between and operator. Okay, between two values or inclusive. So if you want to retrieve the with range of data, so you can use this. For in operator, match any of a list of values. So if you want to display only data that is included in the list. For like operator, match a character pattern. So if you want to limit the data, okay, that will match with character or characters to be returned. Okay, so then you have the is null, or if you want to display the data with null value. Let us now use different comparison operators. So for example, I want to display only employees with salary greater than 15,000. So let us first check the data. So we have here the salary, different salaries of employees. So let us display only employees with 15,000 salary. Okay, so select all from employee where salary is greater than or equal to, say, greater than or equal to 15,000. Okay, so greater than or equal to 15,000 salary. Okay, so select, then click now run. Okay, so as you can see, this salary now, see, so it only displays data with salary greater than or equal to 15,000. So you have now 4 rows returned. Okay, so for what if, for example, you have your data. What if I want to display only employees with last name equals to Benitez? Okay, so select asterisk from employees where L name or last name. So L name equals to Benitez. Okay, so take note for the column name with varchar data type, you have to type the value with single quote. Okay, so select now your command, then click now run. Okay, so you have now, it only returns 2 rows. You only have 2 data here. Okay, so what if, let us now display data with range or inclusive data. For example, let us display data with salary between 12,000 to 15,000 only. Okay, so it means that 20,000 and 10,000 is not, so these are not included. So between 12,000 to 15,000 salary only. So select asterisk from employee where, so let us change the logical condition or expression where salary. So let us now use between operator. So between 12,000 and 15,000. Okay, so you can use this between operator if you want to display range of data or inclusive data. Okay, so highlight now your date command, then click now run. So as you can see, we have now 5 rows returned. It only displays employee with salary between 12,000 to 15,000. Okay. So how about if I want to display employees, okay, with two conditions. So for example, the salary should be greater than or equal to 15,000, okay, with department ID equals to 30. So let us check first the employees. Okay, so let us now, so you have employees with 15,000 or greater than 15,000, but the department ID should be 30 only. So we have how many records? I have two records only. Okay, so let us now check. So the salary should be, first condition, salary should be greater than or equal to 15,000. So you have N operator. So N dep ID equals to 30. So you have two logical conditions here or expressions. So using AND operator, these two conditions must be satisfied, okay, to be returned. Okay. So the first condition, the salary should be greater than or equal to 15,000 and the department ID should be equals to 30. Okay, so let us now check. Click now run. So you have two records only. Okay, so I have two employees. So with salary 15,000 and department ID equals to 30. Okay. Okay, so let us now use the in operator. So in operator will be used if you want to display data that is included in the list. Okay. So we have select all from employee where. So let us use in operator. So for example, where last name, so we have L name in. Okay, so let us first check the table. So I want to display employees with surname De La Cruz and Cruz only. So let us now use the in operator. So where last name in, so type now the list. So I have the list. I have De La Cruz and Cruz. In this statement, it only displays the employee with last name De La Cruz or Cruz. Okay, so let us now check. Click now run. Okay, so you have three rows returned. Displays the employees with De La Cruz and Cruz last name only. Okay, so that is the in operator. Okay, for another example for in operator, for example, I want to display all employees belongs to Dep ID with ID number 10, 20, and 30 only. So 40 Dep ID, It's not included. So select all from employees where, let's now change this. So dep ID. We have the dep ID. So let us now type the list. Since dep ID is in numeric type, so you don't need to put single quote. So you have to type 10, 20, 30. Okay, so let us check. Click now run. So the def ID should be P. So let us check the, so this is invalid identifier, dead ID, it should be dep ID. Okay, so select, then click now run. Okay, so you have here 5 rows returned. So as you can see, we only have dep ID 10, 20, and 30. Okay. Okay, for logical expressions, we can also use the so-called like operator. Okay, so let us check again our employees table. So you let us use the like operator. So for example, I want to display only employees with first name starts with letter J. So we have select asterisk from employee where F name, so like operator. So starts with letter J, so type now J. Starts with letter J means that the succeeding row, the succeeding characters, any letter or any character. So let us use the wild character %sign. Okay. So it means that the first name should starts with letter J, and then the remaining characters, so any letter or any number of characters. Okay. So let us now check. Okay, let us now put close parenthesis here. So click now select, then click run. Okay, so as you can see, you have 2 rows returned. So it only displays data with first name starts with letter J. Okay. So let us now. So what if I want to display only employees with last name starts with Della? So we have here Dela Cruz and Dela Fuente. Okay, so using the like operator, so select asterisk from employee where last name, the last name like, so it starts with the word Dela. Okay, and then the remaining letters, so any letters. So now select the command, click now run. I'm sorry, so you have where last name, so identifier should be last name. So select asterisk from employee where last name like equals to Della asterisk. %sign meaning the last name should starts with Della And then the remaining characters is any letter or characters. Okay, so click now run. Okay, so you have now 3 rows returned. So you have De La Cruz and De La Fuente. Okay, so what if, for example, let us now display only data with last name contains Cruz. Okay, contain Cruz. Okay, so we have select all from employee where last name like. So Cruz is any part in your last name. So we can now type %, means any, it begins with any character, okay, or any number of characters, and then type Cruz. Okay, it can be end or middle, so meaning we have to include again a % here at the end. It means that any part of your last name that contains Cruz word. Okay, so it can be any letter or characters. Then you have after the Cruz can only have any letter or characters here. Okay, so select now your statement, then click now run. So as you can see, I have now De La Cruz and Cruz last name. Okay, so what if, for example, let us now display employees with first name and with letter E. So I have now first name ends with letter E. I have 2 records, so let us check. So select asterisk from employee where first name like. So it starts with any characters. Starts with any characters, one or more characters, but it ends with letter E. So you have to type letter E. Okay, then click now run. Okay, so let us check. So as you can see, I have 2 rows returned. So the first name ends with letter E. Okay. So how about for the single character wildcard, which is the underscore? So let us use this. So for example, let us retrieve data with first name. The second letter of first name is A. So we have here second character should be letter A. So we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let us check. So select asterisk from employee where first name. So it means that the first character is any character. So you only have 1 character. And then the second character should be letter A. And then the remaining characters is any character. So you can use % represents any Okay, character, one or more characters. Okay, so we have underscore here. This represent only one character. Any character here, one character, and then followed by letter A, and then the remaining character or letter. So this represents any one or more characters. Okay, so let us now check. Click now, run. Okay, so as you can see, you have only 3 rows returned. So check now the first name, the second letter of its first name is letter A. Okay, so for is null operator, so it means that we will retrieve data with null value. So for our employees table, for example, we have the city column. So as you can see, we have null value here. So if we will retrieve this data with null value for city column, so we have select all from employee where city. So the column is city is null. It means that it retrieve only data with null value for city column. Okay, so select your command, then click now run. So you have 2 rows returned. So you have only 2 columns or rows with null value for your city. Okay, so we already use different conditional operators and arithmetic expressions using select and where statements. So I hope that this video helps you a lot. Thank you and see you for my next video.